All right, so take a comfortable seat. And by that, I mean, come up onto the edge of a rolled blanket. You can see I have the rolled blanket here. One of these lovely blankets from Mexico. I love using those. They fold up nicely, and you can sit on the edge of that. And you can take even a kneeling position if you want, with your sits bones nice and anchored, or you can sit up on the edge of that blanket and cross-legged. You can even sit on a chair if that's comfortable for you as well. Let's come into that seat and just start to become aware of the seated position, the position of your body in space, coming into your yoga space and into our virtual space. Inhale and exhale. So in all the poses, we have an anchor, a part of the body that's our anchor. In this seated position, it's the sits bones, which are those two bony protrusions down there and behind the glutes. So let's bring those to the edge and then take the hands and warm the hands together, rub them together. And then take the palms to the lower back. Feel the warmth of your hands against your back. And notice, is there a curve in your lower back, or does it feel more vertical, straight up and down? If it's vertical, straight up and down, you want to see that you have a natural curve in the back. And if you don't, then you want to lift that blanket and fold it a little higher and lift yourself up. This is can be relieving for the lower back to actually bring that arch into the lower back. And then you'll reach high with the crown of the head. And then take the fingertips take the hands to the thighs and just allow them to settle onto the thighs. So you've got the lower curve, nice and natural. You can close the eyes. I invite you to close the eyes to cut out the visual distractions around you, connecting with our class space here and our different points on the globe. Begin to notice the breath. And what's the quality of the breath coming into your practice? And what quality of breath would you like at the end of practice? Maybe it's a bit shallow. You'd like a deeper breath at the end of this hour together. I invite you as well to do a body scan. So we come into awareness of our autonomic breath, which is happening all the time. And then we bring awareness into the body. So if you can follow my guidance here to go internally and take a tour of some areas of your body that maybe need a little relief from tension, starting at the crown of the head. Any areas of tension in the skull, maybe your jaw by any chance could be a little stressed out or tense between the eyebrows. In our mind's eye, let's travel down the neck, so the spine and the curve of the neck. Maybe the neck has some tension. Continue to invite your breath in to relieve that tension. On your exhale, connect with the mat, connect with the floor below you, and just release everything down. Maybe the sockets of the shoulders have some tension. Take a breath of relief there. Down the spine, notice between the shoulder blades, maybe some of those muscles are tight. And then down the back, the lower back, our frequent source of tension for a lot of people. Take an invitational breath into the ribs, the belly, and send some nice energy to your lower back. Exhale, release that, anything you don't need there. Let's connect into that hip area, the pelvis. On your next exhale, allow the thighs to drop towards the earth, so opening those hips a little more. Then maybe the legs, soreness, anything. A full body scan here, noticing tension that you'd like to leave behind at the end of the class. Perhaps even your mind, some flurry or mental clutter that you'd like to clear out, dust it off. On your next exhale, let's flutter the eyes open and take the fingertips beside you on the mat. Let's root. We have two other points of rooting. We have the sits bones, and then we have the right fingertips and the left fingertips. Press down into the earth, tapping down through each fingertip and noticing the roots that you have in that connection. And that allows you to grow taller. Inhale, grow tall through the crown of the head, and exhale, connect again to your anchors. And as we take our breath through the practice, we're going to notice today, especially the space around you. So create an energy field around you that's beyond the borders of the body, just so you can feel an expansiveness. And we'll start with that feeling by opening the palms to the sky, imagining the sky above you. Inhale, let's take the arms, sweep them up in an arc shape up towards the sky. Great. And as you reach up, inhale, notice that length through the body. And as you exhale, drop the shoulders away from the ears. And you immediately get that relief. Breathing, inhaling, and you go reach up, and exhaling, you can go down. And then take the palms out to the outward part of the body. Exhale and bring the hands down to earth, fingertips touch down. Let's take the palms up and inhale again. So this is getting to know your breath and following the rhythm of your own breath as you reach up, palms out, exhale, come down. Gliding through those shoulder sockets, inhale, palms up, lengthen, exhale, palms away, come down. Taking an easy path, reaching out beyond your own body, so that arc of space above you, exhale, kind of a rainbow above your head, and bring the fingertips down. Root down, inhale. Inhale, we'll grow tall. Exhale, we'll take the right ear comes towards the right shoulder. Really press through your left fingertips as your right ear comes towards the right shoulder. And inhale as you reach that left ear towards the sky. Exhale, the right ear comes towards the right shoulder. So this will bring relief to the left side of the neck. And if you don't feel relief, back off the pose a little bit, bring the head a little higher. I don't want any pain or pinching. As your next exhale, we're going to turn the chin gently towards the right shoulder. So your eyes are going to look down towards your right fingertips. Pressing through the left fingertips, feel that sense of stretching along the left side. And now you're going to take your chin and trace your right collarbone in towards the middle, in between those two collarbones. Pause in the middle, and then trace all the way over to the left collarbone towards the left shoulder. And then back again, trace back towards the middle. Look down at the middle of the body, down at your legs. Feel the stretch in the back part of the neck. Inhale, look up to the sky. And then bring the gaze forward, and we'll take it to the left side. Inhale, grow tall through the crown of the head. Exhale, your head is on a gentle arc movement. So the crown of the head is making a tiny little arch down towards the left shoulder. Left ear toward left shoulder. On your next inhale, press through those right fingertips, rise up through that right ear, and exhale, soften towards the left shoulder. Again, Don't go to any pain point, just stay where you feel a nice stretch. And then turn your chin towards the left shoulder, looking over your left fingertips. Enjoy this stretch here, if that works for you, and then trace your collarbone with your chin towards the midline of the body. Look down at the legs again, exploring the range of the neck. And then look up on an inhale toward the sky, feeling perhaps, oh, we're supposed to trace across to the right side. Thank goodness Heck is in the room to remind me. Let's bring that chin down again and trace over to the right along the collarbone. And then back to center. So we're kind of exploring that long line. Thank you for the reminder. Inhale, look up to the sky. Feel the hand behind your heart of support as you come into a slight back bend, and then bring your gaze forward. And then we'll take a really luxurious side stretch here. We're gonna walk. You can take a block and you can place it on your right side if you need extra support for coming down towards the earth. We're gonna walk the right fingertips over to the right. As we stayed anchored through those sits bones, take the left hand to the left thigh and feel that pressure there, keeping your left side anchored. Walk the fingertips out, right fingertips. Allow that right ear to drop again towards the right shoulder like we started with. Inhale, reach that left arm long up to the sky. And now you'll feel that lengthening through the left side. You can take your forearm down to the mat or down to that block. And then the palm goes towards the right side. Reach the left arm long next to the left ear. Inhale, feel that sense of expansion, and exhale, dropping towards the earth. Make this nice and deep and long on this stretch on the left side. Now we're going to reach that arc around us again, taking the left palm towards the sky. Reach up, make that arc shape again above the head. Bring the left fingertips down on that side. Switch that block if you'd like. Walk the left fingertips over to the left. And then take the right hand to the right thigh. Remind that sits bone to stay anchored. And your flexibility from the pelvis is that anchor plus the spine turning to the left. And if you want to take your forearm to the block, all right, nice docking station there. And then take the left ear towards the left shoulder. Right arm reaches towards the sky. And then bring the palm towards the left. Right arm long towards the right ear. Inhale. Exhale, and then sweep that right palm up towards the sky, that arc above your head. Let's take it to the other side just briefly to make that sweeping sensation above your head. Yes, let me see those in the screen. I can see people making that shape in space one more time. Inhale as you come up. Exhale as your breath brings you down to earth. Inhale up, exhale down, just reminding ourselves of that foundation, but flexibility, which we can apply to any situation. Switch the legs up if you're in this lotus pose, and then we'll do a nice twist. So bring the arms up, inhale up to the sky. Bring the hands into prayer position, press the palms together. And when you press them together, you'll feel a whole other sense of support through your body. Low ribs tuck in, and you just feel that strength within, in your center. It's always there. Inhale, let's turn the ribs to the right, and then the shoulders, sternum, and then the gaze over to the right, holding the arms strong above the head. Exhale, come back to center, turn the ribs to the left, and then the shoulders, the gaze over the left. Using your core strength to come into this twist. And now we're going to bring the hands in that prayer position down through main central as you turn into a twist. So you're going to turn to the right, but you're going to slowly bring the palms in the prayer position in front of the face. keeping it in that center line, drawing a line down the body as your spine rotates. Gently breathing into this twist. Ending up in this beautiful pose of prayer position. Inhale. Exhale, drop the arms beside you. Now we're gonna unfold. We're gonna come into Janu Shirshasana. So let's take the right leg and just hold the back of the thigh and open up the right leg long and straight over to your right side, only as far as is comfortable for you. You want to make sure to keep yourself on the edge of that blanket so that you have that lower back arch. If we start to go into this and your arches, you're losing that arch, then you want to take your leg in a little closer to the midline. Now the left leg is folded in front of us, and now those familiar fingertips beside you. Inhale, grow up tall. Beautiful. And then we're going to walk the fingertips. We're going to walk the right fingertips towards the right knee and the left fingertips out to the side. So we're bringing our gaze over the left knee. So we're on a side plane here. Inhale, grow tall again. Strong and tall. Exhale. Let's start to walk the right fingertips along the right leg. And so we're on a side plane here, reaching towards the right toe. You can even take the fingertips on the inside of the right leg. I'm going to back up here so you can see. Walking along the inside of the right leg. And then take the left hand to the top of that left thigh, feeling that anchor there. As we take a side bend here, lift the left arm up to the sky like we did in our other position, but this time we just have the leg open. Anchor through your hand, that right fingertips, and lean over towards your right toes, which are reaching towards the sky. Inhale, expand. Exhale, root down. And then sweep your left arm in that beautiful arc above you. And then fold in, take the hands behind the right knee and bring that towards you, and we'll switch to the other side. Unfold the left leg. And if you have knee issues, I would say put a blanket behind your knees when you have to bend like this. Fold the right knee in front of you, right leg in front of you, nice and long and luxurious through the left leg. Take the fingertips beside you. Inhale. Grow tall. Exhale, walk the fingertips and your gaze over towards your right knee. So we're looking out that way in a gentle twist, and then walk the fingertips out towards, on the inside of the leg, of the left leg or the outside, towards the toes. Take the right hand to the right thigh. Feel that sense of anchoring. Inhale. Exhale, walk the fingertips a little further. And reach the right arm towards the sky, and then over the right ear, softening. Opening up the hips, preparing us for a flowing standing pose. Inhale, exhale. And then walk the fingertips back, create that arc space above you. And then come back towards our cross-legged pose. And then we're going to briefly be lying down, opening up the hips again, which will make our standing poses much more fluid and feather lightweight. Take that blanket, place it to the side. You might be using the blanket, so just keep it there. And then come to lying down with the soles of the feet on the floor and the knees bent. So we're just going to do a brief hip opener here. Stand down strong to your feet. They're hip width apart, as are your knees. Notice the shape. Your body's taking a new shape on the mat. So just align your skull and your sacrum, noticing the spine, always bringing our awareness back to the body, our exploration point. So we're going to step strong through the feet and lift the hips up. You can grab your block or your blanket. I'll demonstrate it with a blanket just in case you don't have that. Inhale the hips up and place that blanket or the block underneath your sacrum. So there's a slight lift to your hips, and you want the sacrum on the mat or the blanket lifted so that we have a gentle arch in the lower back. And this is a really spa-like way to bring your lower back into that curve. Notice the lift. This should feel good, and if it doesn't, you don't have to use the prop. So with the strength of your abdominals, you're gonna lift both knees up towards the sky. Notice, take your hands to your lower abs and just notice they're doing their work there. And then straighten one leg up above you and then the other. Great, so you got candlestick legs up high. And then bring the soles of the feet together, bend the knees, open the knees, and see if you can grab towards the shins or the ankles. So we're butterflying open the knees and gliding through the hips. Now we're going to go back up to candlestick. Let's see those legs up high. And then bring the soles of the feet together. Hold on to those ankles or your shins. The rhythm here is inhale, rising up through the feet. Exhale, bringing them down to earth. Opening up, butterfly style. And one more time, inhale up. Exhale, through the hips, butterfly. Excellent. And then let's take candlesticks one more time. Inhale, feeling that stretch along your hamstrings. And now we'll use another core strength here as we do our synchronized swimmer, opening up the legs into a V. And then closing, following the path of your breath. Open up to a V. You can keep your toes pointed. I let you choose the toes pointed or flexed, whatever's more comfortable for you. Exploring the range on the inner thighs, stretching them out. Beautiful. Let's bring the soles of the feet together and just come down through cobblers or butterfly pose on our way down. And then gently bring the soles of the feet down to the earth. Lift the hips up. Remove the block or the blanket. Roll over towards our all fours pose, our tabletop pose. Take the blanket, and now we can use it to cushion the knees. We always want to be good to the knees, always, because we want them to last. Great. Bring that under the knees. Come to all fours. Your knees are below the hips and the wrists are below the shoulders, or even just a little inch or two in front of the shoulders if you want to take the weight off of your wrists. Our neutral spine here, again, taking another path, another horizontal path. Inhale, reach through the crown of the head, and in your mind's eye, find those sits bones. The arch in the lower back at the same time. Exhaling, you feel the navel toning towards the spine, so you're nice and strong through this very supported all fours position. Let's take a cat-cow. So we inhale, tuck the tailbone towards the floor, lift the back of the spine towards the sky, and then look at your knees, and you feel that whole path of your spine arcing upward. Exhale, lift the tailbone, travel up the spine in your mind's eye as the navel comes towards the floor and we move toward cow pose. Shoulder blades squeeze together, and then you look up. One more trip here. Let's travel through the spine with your own breath as your guide. A great everyday pose, cat-cow. Cat. Exhaling into cow. Coming back to a neutral spine. With the strength of your arms, we're going to switch down to our forearms on the ground. So the forearms are your anchor and your back shins So we've got, those are our stable points. And the spine is in a slight diagonal here. We're going to try cat-cow from this forearm position. And you want a full hand print, just like those hand prints in the clay we used to make in kindergarten. Press through, and then tuck the tailbone under and lift up into a cat from here. So separate those shoulder blades, look down at your knees, and then try cow. Lift up the tailbone, travel up the spine, heart melts towards the earth, and then you look up. How does this feel from the forearms? Does it feel different? Try it again. Cat and cow. Accentuate that breath so you can feed the breath, feed the spine with breath, feed the breath, everything. And then down again. So let's come back to our neutrality here. So kind of a diagonal with the spine. And we're going to simply focus on our mid back, which means we're going to take that arch, that forward rounding that happens when we type and things. We're going to take that out of the back right now. So press through the forearms and your hands. Separate the shoulder blades. So you're not going to make any action with the lower back. You're just making a separating the shoulder blades, and you'll feel the back of the top of the spine reaching towards the sky. And now bring your shoulder blades together. Squeeze a pencil between the shoulder blades, and you'll notice that the sternum drops towards the floor. Lift up, separate the shoulder blades on an inhale, and then squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift up and squeeze them together. And try this again a few more times, encouraging flexibility in that mid spine and the upper spine that often take a hit when we're driving, typing, life, sitting in chairs and things like that. Great. Now take the palms below the face again, bring yourself back up to all fours, and we'll twist that cat. So we're going to take the left arm up beside in a horizontal plane beside the body like this. Look at your left hand and hold this position for a moment just so you can feel the toning along your left arm. Lift it up above the body if that works for you. And then watch your left hand, and it's going to thread under your right armpit. Watch it the whole time. Thread under, bringing your left ear to the mat. Bend the right arm. So it looks, you can look up here. I'm going to talk you through it, but I'm going to look away for a moment. So in this position, your left arm is long and straight, and your right hand is in front of the face with the arm bent. Check in with your mind's eye to your sits bones. How even do they feel? Do they feel tilted? You might want to bring that left hip or the right hip back, depending on what you're noticing there. If this bothers your knees or anything, you can come back towards, you can bring the hips toward the heels, whatever's comfortable for you in this twist. You can walk the right hand up towards the head if that works for you. And then bring the right hand towards the face again. Press through the right hand as you unwind back to all fours. Shift the hips back towards the heels, bring the forehead to the mat into our comfortable child's pose with the third eye on the mat. When you inhale here, feel the breath travel up the back of the body, behind the ribs. And then exhale, expel the air out, sigh it out, leave out what you don't need, and then come back up to all fours. Inhale, reach the right arm beside you. Feel that toning, squeeze down towards the ribs, through the armpits, so you really feel your shoulders engage. Look over at your right hand. Admire your right hand, and then watch that right hand thread under the left armpit. This is a little bit of a pretzel pose, but I promise it has good benefits through the whole spine. Bring the right ear towards the mat. Left hand in front of the face. Okay, this is where I want to check in with my hips. So bring the mind's eye to the sits bones. Maybe the left hip has started to come forward. Bring it towards the back of the mat. Twisted cat. You can walk the left fingertips up towards above your head if you want, or just stay in this twist with the hand in front of the face, spine two. Coming back to our basic breath. Explore the body, explore the points of tension. And then walk the fingertips back on the left hand. Take the palm down and then unwind yourself. Beautiful. Now we'll take a bit of a balance pose here, balancing cat. Inhale, let's take the left leg behind you, nice and long. Curl the toes under. Keep the hips even as you lift the left leg off the mat, nice and long. Exhale, find your anchor, and then inhale the right arm next to the ear. So we'll have alternate sides stretching out. Find the length through the body. Exhale, bend the left knee. Take the sole of the foot towards the sky. That's right. Okay, so you've got a funny shape here. You're going to sweep the right arm out next to the body and see if your right hand can find your left toes. If not, don't push this. Just reach your tailbone like an arrow towards the bottom of the mat. And you'll notice lengthening, maybe a stretch through that left quad, but ultimately a balance and a core strengthener. Look down at the mat. Inhale, exhale, release, come back down to your all fours. Inhale, exhale, reach the right leg long, nice and straight through the heel, curl the toes, keeping the hips even, lift that leg off the floor. Can you balance a cup of tea on your sacrum, the lower spine? How even are your hips? And then inhale your left arm next to the left ear, reaching long. Exhale and bend the right knee, bringing the sole of the right foot towards the sky. And then sweep that left arm next to you and see if you can find the toes for a quad stretch, or just keep reaching that foot towards the sky and your tailbone like an arrow towards the back of the mat. Quad stretch. Balancing our cat, and then come back down. And then we're going to walk our cat towards a different direction. So right now you're looking towards the top of your mat, but now we're going to walk that cat over so that the long side of the mat is beside you and you're in the middle of the mat like this. And we're going to move the prop to the side, this blanket. And we're going to take so we're in all fours. We're going to curl the toes under, both feet behind you. Lift the hips up, push through the hands as the sits bones the ribs come towards the thighs. Walk your feet forward, keeping your knees bent, and you're in kind of a bent knee forward bend here. Your anchor here is both your hands and your feet. And then you're going to walk your feet out wide towards the edges of the long mat. Okay, and feel those footprint of your feet. So you're making a sand footprint and you're spreading your toes so that it's the most accurate footprint of your personal footprint ever. Nice and strong and anchored. Press through the hands or the fingertips and pull them back towards the body, and you'll feel a lengthening through your spine. As you come into a flat back, inhale into a flat back and exhale. See if you can fold forward towards bringing the head towards the mat or the floor, releasing somewhat through the neck, and then inhaling into that flat back. And then exhaling, keeping that spine long as you hinge at the hip and come downward. Inhale up to a flat back. And now if you can take that foundation through the feet, release the hands, take them to the top of your thighs and press against the thighs. You'll feel that inward rotation of your legs as you inhale and float up to a wide stance. Great. So these are our parallel feet. And notice just energetically as we press through the feet and bring them magnetically, kind of energetically together. Do you notice something waking up in the core of the body when you do that? You bring yourself into the center line and your midline is awake. And then you have more strength. Anytime you're standing, not even in wide position, you can get into that core and support your whole body. Inhale, exhale, and we're going to do a foot switch. So we're going to practice the foot switching before we go into the poses. Right now our feet are in parallel, so we're facing towards those edges of the mat. And now we're going to shift the feet. So the right toes are going to go out towards the right side of the mat, like this. And the front heel is going to line up with the back arch. So line up as if there's a straight line between your front heel and your back arch. And then you're going to take the back foot, and you can step a little bit, and angle it towards the front of the mat or the side of the mat at about a 45-degree angle. Hips, take the hands to the hips, and just notice that the hip bones mostly are facing the long side of the mat and not the top of the mat. So they're slightly at an angle, but just notice that as you stand here. Now let's switch the feet back to our parallel. Inhale, switch the feet. Exhale, we're going to take the left toes to that long side of the mat. And then we're going to take that same angle, front heel, back arch. And then angle at about a 45-degree, your right foot is angled at a 45-degree angle. So again, from this position, pressing through the feet, there you go. Wake up that center, notice your hips and the angle. It's slightly, we don't want to ever force the hips into any sharp angles, but just guide them in that towards the long side of the mat. And then bring the feet back to center. So what we're going to be doing today is switching between some classic poses, but using our breath and our feet to shift into those positions. So inhale, exhale, we're going to come towards our first pose is Proud Warrior. So let's take the right toes out to the side, just like we did our setup. Inhale, exhale, bend the right knee towards the right toes. Always keep them behind the toes and towards the middle of the two toes. And then maybe you want to shift that back foot a little bit, bringing your right thigh into more of an angle, ideally to a right angle, but don't pressure yourself to any perfection. Inhale, press through the feet, feel the strength, and then arms out to a T. Drop the shoulders away from the ears, relax your face. You're already a strong warrior. You've got a strong foundation. You've got flexibility on top. Inhale, grow long through the spine. Exhale, look over your right fingertips. Here you are. It's beautiful, strong, proud warrior. Inhale, we're going to take the palms towards the sky and then bring them up above the head as you shift the feet towards parallel. Exhale, let's switch to the other side. Switch the feet, bring the arms down to a T. So we're taking the left toes towards the side of the mat and that right foot at an angle. And then bend the left knee towards the middle two toes. And look, here we are, Proud Warrior on the other side as we look over the left fingertips. Arms are long, so check that back hand, that back arm to make sure it's nice and long. And you really tap into that sense of pride and confidence in yourself. Inhale, arms up. Begin to shift the feet forward into parallel. And now we're going to take from here a triangle. So our feet, you can take the arms down just to give yourself a momentary break. Take the feet and angle them like we were angling them before. If you'd like to take a block, put it on the outside of your right toes. And then take the hands to the hips. Inhale, grow tall. This time, instead of bending the right knee, we're going to be spilling over with the pelvis. Take the hands actually to the tops of the thighs. This is your hinge point. So inhale, exhale, spill the pelvis over. And if you are familiar with this pose, which many of you are, just really get long with the spine and spill over in that hinge. It can always feel a little deeper each time. Press through the feet. Bring the hand down to your shin or the block and take the left arm up to the sky and notice the length between the bottom of the spine and your skull. Triangle. Exhaling will ground, get a sense of grounding through the earth. Inhaling, rising up, maybe turning the head up and the rib cage up towards that top hand, maybe just looking down at your feet. Use your inhale to sweep the left arm up towards the sky, both arms reaching outward into the T. And then bring the feet to parallel. Take a moment to switch your block over to the left side. Great, and here we are on our base, parallel feet. Inhale the arms up above the head. On an inhale, grow tall. Exhale, switch the feet over to the other position. And sweep the arms down to the tops of the thighs. Grow up from that pelvis, that beautiful bowl of the pelvis. Tip the pelvis bowl over to the left. Drape that spine over. Notice that beautiful long chain of the spine, and then take the hand down to the thigh, to the shin or the block. Reach the right arm up towards the sky. Make an amazing shape, which is your own individual shape, your own individual breath guiding you. Exhale, find the floor. And then sweep the right arm up, that leverage bringing you up. Parallel feet, arms up towards the sky. Exhale, let's switch the feet again. And we're going to combine the forces of the proud warrior and the triangle in another pose altogether, which is side angle pose. If you want to switch the block, you can do that. Inhale the arms up again. Exhale, bring the arms down to a T and then to that long T shape, and then bend the right knee as we were in the proud warrior. So you've got the knee aligned behind the two middle toes. Inhale, and we're going to do that same spilling over of the pelvis towards the right. Bend the right knee, bring the right knee down to the right thigh. And we've got the bend like in proud warrior, but we've got the tilt like we did in our triangle. Lift up through the left arm. And if you can, bring the left arm next to the left ear. See if you can turn the left palm towards the back of the room. Really requiring the strength here of the legs. So press through the feet, magnetize them together. And then sweep that arc of the left arm up, touch the sky, back up. Bring the arms up above the head into parallel feet. Exhale, switch the feet to our other side. T arms, bend the left knee. Bring that pelvis down and then tilt over to the left. Spill the pelvis, bring the left arm to the left thigh. Sweep the right arm up towards the ceiling and then right arm toward right ear. So we've been taking really similar shape throughout our practice with that softening over to the side, but lengthening side to side. And then sweep the right arm up towards the sky, back to parallel. Sweep the arms down, hands to the hips. That felt very expansive. And I want you to take the favorite of one of those and just work that by reaching up through the arms, angling your feet to the right and the left, and taking either warrior, proud warrior, or the triangle, or the side ankle, and work that just on your own with your own breath. What I'm going to do is I'm going to model all three a little faster, so in case you forgot them, I can remind you. On your own time, inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Let's meet again in our wide stance. I hope you like our tour of our 3 wide standing poses. They're so such beautiful classics. Inhale, grow tall through the spine. Take the hands again to the top of the thighs. See if you can move your fingertips towards those inner thighs, which will inwardly rotate the legs as you hinge forward, flat back into a forward bend. Bring the fingertips down below you, or the hands or the palms, whatever works for you. Pull backwards towards your body through the hands so you feel that length. Beautiful. Exhale, bow down. Relax the head, the neck. Look at the world upside down. And then bring your hands in front of you, come up briefly to that flat back. And we're going to heel toe, bend the knees to towards all fours. So your feet are coming closer together. And then you're going to curl the toes, bend the knees, and bring them down to the floor. Excellent. Nice job with that sequence. Take the props aside. Now for my favorite part, we're going to draw some rainbows on the floor. I have this beautiful drawing back here as my little backdrop today for myself. This is a drawing from a little 10-year-old friend, and she did a llama with this rainbow blanket. It's really cool. So I thought the whole rainbow theme was just really nice. So thank you, Phoenix, for that drawing. Let's come onto our backs with our soles of the feet on the floor and feet hip width apart, noticing a difference in your body, taking a breath to feel the difference. Exhale. Do that tour that we did before. Any difference you notice in your breath or the body? Any of those places of stuck points that might need a little dusting? Take the knees together and roll over onto your left side. So we'll take always the knees together in our twists. The thighs are a right angle to the body and the shins are a right angle to the thighs. This is setting up your pelvis, the sacroiliac joint, to be nice and parallel and even. If it gets crooked, sometimes that can hurt your lower back. So we're really setting it up for success here. You could even take a block and put it behind your sacrum, behind your pelvis, and see if you can just maintain that balance of the block while you do the twist. So we'll take the right palm on top of the left on our left side. Now grab an imaginary piece of sidewalk chalk and we're going to draw a rainbow on the floor in an arc around around our head. So inhale, let's begin to draw that arc. Watch your hand as it draws. So the eyes go up towards the hand. Notice your shoulder along the way. Don't overstretch the shoulder. If you start to feel tight in the shoulder, you can bend the elbow, or you can just stop where you are and bring that tracing of the chalk back towards your left hand. So maybe you don't go all the way to an arc the first time, or at all, that's okay. Just draw that arc as you'll take a twist in that upper spine. As you do that, bring it back and forth. Inhale. If you want to take the arc over, you'll start to twist through the spine and the ribs over towards your right. But look at your hand the whole time. As you come back to the other hand, imagine picking up another color of chalk and just taking a full rainbow arc above you on the floor. This is really great for our undoing some of that hunch that we have in the spine. One more color. Exhale. Again, I have a little bit of shoulder issues on this side, so I don't actually draw the whole arc every time. Let's roll over, move the block if you have it there, and we're rolling over onto the right side, keeping these knees together. Shins, right angle to thighs, thighs right angle. If you want that extra reminder, put the block behind your pelvis, take the left palm on top of the right, and then grab that piece of chalk and we'll start to trace up above the head. Maybe this side you're able to go a little further. I know that's the case for me. And come back to your right palm, grab another color, paint it. You might even feel some snap, crackle, pop, healthy release of the spine. If you feel pinching or any pain, don't do the pose, or just take a lighter version of the twist. This should feel therapeutic as you follow your breath in new shapes. Okay. Bring the palms together. Nice long breath. Exhale. And then move any props. Roll over onto your back toward our resting pose. The resting pose is the spa experience of the yoga world, but also a chance for the body to absorb what's the new pathways that you created. You can take a roll blanket underneath your knees. You can even take a roll blanket underneath your neck, just accentuating that support beneath you. Take the feet about 12 to 18 inches apart, flop them out to the side. Take the side of the mat in your fists and then pull down towards the bottom of the mat, lengthening the spine even more towards the top of the mat. Drop that. Palms open to the sky. Pressing through the arms and lifting the sternum up. You'll notice you can bring those shoulder blades together and then drop down and melt your shoulders towards the earth. Positioning your skull in alignment with the bottom of the spine, the sacrum. We can come back to that concept of an internal body scan tour. Close the eyes. Come back to the breath. You don't have to force any breath, just notice the difference, notice the quality. Come back to that intention of what you'd like to have at the end of class. And send that intention again to the body. I'll take you through a body scan. You don't have to do anything. Just listen to the sound of my voice and allow the consciousness to follow or not. The forehead, the scalp, the face, the jaw, the sides of the neck, the shoulders, the right arm, the left arm, the rib cage, the organs, the spine, the front of the spine, the back of the spine, the pelvis, the hips, the right thigh, the left thigh, the right knee, the left knee, the right shin, the left shin, right calf, left calf, right foot, left foot, right hand, left hand, the whole body, the front of the body, the back of the body, the whole body. Feel a nice deep breath, filling the body, out breath, and then wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bring your awareness into your surroundings. Bend the knees. Roll over onto your right side. With your hands, help yourself up and we'll meet in a seated position. Hands in prayer position in front of the heart. Thank you for joining me in this 60-minute release. Namaste.